Hi everybody, Robert Dyer, and welcome to the Robert Dyer channel, where today I have a limited edition M&Ms, White Chocolate Cheesecake M&Ms. It sounds like something that should be very decadent, but it's hard to duplicate a cheesecake in a tiny candy like this. It does say it contains bioengineered food ingredients, so we know it is Monsanto approved. And the history of the cheesecake is a very long one, going back to the ancient world perhaps, although we first see a written recipe for cheesecake in a book called The Form of Curry, which was written by the master chefs of King Richard II, and it was a collection of medieval recipes that I suppose they prepared for the king and his court. And that brings us to what we now consider in America the cheesecake is most often the New York style cheesecake, and that is largely attributed to a master of cuisine named Arnold Reuben, who is best known for his restaurants and delis in New York City. And he attempted to make a cheese pie in 1929, and what he ended up with at the end of the day was a early form of what became the New York style cheesecake. And I suppose it's appropriate because, after all, we have to be honest, the cheesecake is really a pie, not a cake. If I refer to a cheesecake as a cake, my Pillsbury Moist Supreme box starts to rattle on the shelf. And of course, Arnold Reuben is really something of a Thomas Edison or Nikola Tesla of food, because many people are known for inventing one famous recipe or food item, but Arnold Reuben actually is known for at least two, the other being obvious, the Reuben sandwich. And here's a closer look at the packaging. You have the actual product there on the left. Here it says White Chocolate Cheesecake. Here in the center we have what we would consider the typical American cheesecake, the New York style. Conspicuously missing are the cherries or strawberries that would usually be perched atop. And then here you have this Monsanto monstrosity ready to go into the bullfighting arena, apparently. On the back here, well, a lot of package real estate gone to waste. I think it's very poor use of the packaging. You ought to be selling the product or giving something away, not just giving me blank bag. Why should I pick the product off the shelf? That's what you have to convince me on the packaging. Let's go ahead and try to carefully open this. I'm not sure why every M&M's bag doesn't have that little resealable zipper on the top, but for some reason they still make these old-fashioned bags that are so easy to either rip open the wrong way or it all falls on the floor. Let's go ahead and try to pour out some of these. The hole is either too big or too small. And I don't know if you can see, but these look to me a bit oversized. They remind me more of the size of either a peanut M&M or something that has more in it than just the filling, but these are supposed to just have a cheesecake filling. and they otherwise look like your typical M&M, though this has a sort of grayish metallic M on it. The aroma, well, as often is the case, the candy coating seems to hold in a lot of the aroma. Just something vaguely sweet. Let's go ahead and see how it tastes. Well, that was kind of weird. It's not anything like a typical M&M. It's sort of like a small cheesecake just exploded in your mouth. Even the texture is a little bit more like a cheesecake than the standard chocolate M&M filling. So that's sort of unusual that they actually change the texture. That usually only happens when it's something else like peanut butter inside. Let's try one of the white ones. Well, the taste is a little bit off because while it is certainly somewhat like a cheesecake and it's got that unusual cheesecake sort of texture to it, it is not really indicative of the typical sour element of cheesecake. It's a lot sweeter than the plain cheesecake part of a cheesecake is. And more than white chocolate, it really tastes more like a vanilla milkshake at McDonald's, in my opinion. Let me try two together to see if we can maximize the flavor.
Hey you! Hey you! Freeze! Who said you could use this bike path? I question your commitment to sparkle motion and the new... I am a bicycle officer with the Scranton office of Ma Bell. My dad was blue collar through and through, digging in the mines so that I could drink kombucha and read Jake Tapper novels today. Whatever your phone bill was last month, multiply it by 10 and give it to me right now. We are Ma Bell. We are the collective. All your bases belong to us. Ma Bell Scranton office.
Ma Bell Scranton office.
Press 1 to pay your bill. Press 2 para español. Press 3 to fight in crazy foreign wars to benefit your hidden masters. Press 4 to initiate a psychiatric hold. Hey, come back here. Come back here. This is a government-issued bicycle. No one can escape a government-issued bicycle. Come back here.
Now, I have to say that usually weird is not a word that you want to use in association with a flavor. But in this case, it's a very positive one because while I think that they have somewhat failed to deliver the cheesecake flavor, the flavor here is still very good. Another bizarre thing about it, another weird thing I have to say, is that the filling is actually cold. It feels cool. And this bag has not been in a refrigerator. It's just been at room temperature. So it makes for a unusual sensation for an M&M. And so I think if you combine the vanilla McDonald's milkshake flavor with the fact that it almost has a cool temperature to it, this would be a very good candy for the summer coming up here. Sweeter than a cheesecake is, and it definitely has a new and unusual texture you haven't had in any other M&M. So while I would not recommend this if you're looking for an accurate cheesecake flavor in a candy, I would say if you've ever wanted to have a McDonald's vanilla milkshake in a little tiny candy like this you can carry around in your pocket, then this is the candy for you. I think this is going to be addictive like most other M&Ms and Reese's Pieces. So I'm going to go ahead and give these a very solid 4 stars for all the right, wrong reasons. Hope you like this video. Share it with your friends. Please subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.